Hi, it's Kristin Tollefson, the Director of Education at the Bainbridge Island Museum of Art, here with another Art in Action BIMA from Home. Today we're going to try our hands at mending, and traditionally mending has been used as a stitching technique to repair holes or sometimes even weave a new swatch of fabric or fiber to cover up a hole. Today's technique is going to explore using the blanket stitch as a way to finish off a hole, and rather than mask it, turn it into a decorative element that will make your garment even more personalized and worth saving. To start, you need just a very few easily accessible materials, and there's a lot of flexibility in what you use for this project, so bear in mind that what I have is just a series of recommendations. Some helpful tools for this project include a pair of scissors, a needle, and I find that this yarn needle with a big eye is really helpful for stringing into, and it doesn't poke the garment that I'm sewing on. And I use pearl cotton. You could easily use embroidery floss or a different kind of yarn. I really like the contrast of the shininess of the pearl cotton, and I use a 5mm pearl cotton. Here's a darker color or a contrasting lighter color. I've got two samples here to demonstrate the different kinds of effects that the choice of fabric and the color of your thread will have. Over here, I've got a shawl that is full of moth holes, and you can see some of the holes right around here that have not been finished. And you can see what the choice of a thread that is very similar in tone and color to the fiber that the shawl is made of has on this. So it's not invisible, but it is not standing out in high contrast. On the other hand, I have a sweater that started out as a holey sweater from Goodwill, and I took scissors and cut bigger holes and finished the edges with blanket stitching out of a much lighter color than the actual fiber of the sweater. And you can see how that ends up in kind of a sunburst radiating pattern around the hole. For today's demonstration, I'm going to focus on the higher contrast stitching on the dark garment so you can see better what I'm doing. I have a hole in the sleeve of this sweater that needs repair, so I'm going to work on that. You can see here that I've already threaded my needle, and the thread is about twice the length of my arms when shoulder width apart. So it's a double layer of thread. I take the end of this string and I loop it around my finger that's been moistened, and I roll to the edge of my finger, and then I slide that piece of string down and it forms a knot. This is a handy way to make a knot for almost any kind of sewing. To get started, I'm going to take my needle, and with the right side of the fabric, I'm going to put the needle through the hole and come out about the distance away from the hole that I want to have as the length of the little radiating sun shape. I'm going to go work my way around the hole in a circle. So my next stitch is going to go from the outside of the hole up inside the garment and out. And as I pull a loop, my needle is going to go back through that little loop before I've got it all cinched down. And you're going to see that it looks like a little X at this point. I'm going to keep going around in a circle, so my next stitch is going to come back through the hole and out on the garment. And as I pull this taut again, get this a little shorter, I put the needle back through the top of the loop and I pull snugly. As with many stitching and needlework techniques, you're going to be repeating the same motion over and over again, each time going through the hole, pushing out in the garment, pulling until you have a loop, putting your needle back through the loop and pulling snugly. You can start to see the pattern that's developing here. One more time through the hole, through the garment, through the loop, and pull it snugly. To finish, you'll just take your thread and loop it through the first stitch, pull it tight, and go through the back. Loop underneath one of your previous stitches here, loop through your hole, and secure a knot. I like to do this a couple of times just to be sure, and then trim my thread. It's my hope that this exercise of repairing and maintaining things that are of value to you makes you think not only about how to create a sustainable future of objects, but also makes you think about what kinds of care and stories we can imbue in the things that we surround ourselves with. We'd love to hear what you are fixing and what meaning you're making in your world. Please leave us comments and send us ideas. We'd love to share back with you as soon as we can the next Art in Action. Until then, thanks for watching.